Everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I really want to share about the progression of current Global Talent Independent program, the processing time, and is that the number still, the allocation running out, something like that. It's really funny that lots of clients, after we launch expression interest, for the waiting time of 2 weeks, they just panicking and say, oh wow, I read news about that. I never rely on news. That's really important. We rely on law. The only thing we rely on policy and law. Okay, this is really important. There has to be very concrete information available in the department database. So we rely on two things: law and policy, immigration policy. That is concrete. We actually have, so myself, I'm doing this in a way that of course I read news. I'm not blind. I know what's going on. This you have to know. But news media can be exaggerated. It can be in a way it never supposed to provide correct information. It provides some kind of signal, right? Some kind of wave, some kind of movement. But you cannot rely on that, especially if they refer numbers, right? Refer numbers that before, in April, well, someone actually told me, and at the time, and they said, oh, they already told me they read news about a number being used up in April now. And I asked, where's the source? What was the source came from? Is it from department? And they said, no, it's on the news. And I checked, yeah, it's not on news, that's right. But at the time we request department freedom of information request, they only have 375 visa grant, right, at the time. I believe a visa grant or invitation, could not recall. But I shared the information to him and say, oh, well, you know, this is the resource. This is the source. You cannot just simply trust something that on website, on news, because they hold no responsibility by saying that, right? They hold no responsibility by saying that. This is really important because even I have to warn you this. The information you read on department website, that it's no guarantee that 100% accurate. It is no 100% accurate. This is often I share my website, my legal library called LegionCom. If you're a registered migration agent, you know what I'm talking about. We have a legal library where I actually share this legal library to my clients, show them, look, this is actually the interpretation. This is the wording here. That is the thing that department make decision on that. The department doesn't make decision on news. The department doesn't make decision on website. Even doesn't make decision on departmental website. You have to rely on policy. Really, really important because this is a Western country, right? It's made by law. We are our company. We are the community is organized by law. Now, when we read, of course, my way of doing it is how we interpret in a way. Now, how we interpret in a way is not guess, right? Or guess this or guess that. We interpret the way we trace back to the very beginning by understanding what is going on here, right? If you know that what I'm talking about, before the law is passed, before the policy is passed, there's a lobby group. There's something that's expressed expression of interest, then have a discussion. We're able to trace back the really beginning of the discussion to actually interpret in a way that's matched perfectly with policymaker. So we are not saying we are making guess here, guess there, and I make up law myself. This is well, ridiculous. We are not doing anything about that. We are actually doing something that makes sure what we are doing is 100% matched with your profile. We say you 100% moved into the policy. That's the only thing I'm doing here. Now the progression in that is a number being used up. Never need to worry about that because the number of 5,000 allocations, you know that I'm talking about, it's never embedded in policy. If you have anyone show that in law, this is about 5,000, you tell me, right? I can challenge them. That is nothing in policy. 5,000 allocation was actually a proposal, an aim, a goal they want to meet. They want to attract this number of candidates, right? This number of candidates means main applicants because it is unjustifiable if some applicants that have 5 kids, then they're going to use 5 allocations. That is impossible. 5,000 is meaning to one invitation, 5,000 invitations, right? You give me out 5,000. But this number can be changed, and it's changing. It's changing. Okay, when? I'm not sure when, but we are doing it now. The actual law will come into December 2020. This is the policy timeline. 5,000 will be changed. Why? One reason. First of all, the final last year's migration target was not met. Right? We didn't have enough people coming. Right? First year. This year, 2020, can we meet the migration target? Unlikely. Why? Not because one way, because people can't come here. Second, we don't want people to come here if they are just taking no-skilled jobs. Right? So therefore, because of that, the law hasn't made, but you stopped doing the visa now, department, right? For example, employer-sponsored visa. Now, employer has to post a job on Job Active, showing that no people apply for this job. How likely they can get employer-sponsored visas under this current circumstance? This is only applicable to current applications, right? If you already applied before this date, if you're one of my client before, don't worry, because this only applies to the current situation. Now, employer sponsor is unlikely to happen. That's lots, right? Allocation is lots, because if you prevent, if they are really unlikely to get temporary visa, which means in a year's run time, in a 2 years, 3 years time, that we don't have enough numbers of permanent visas, right? Now, you know, Australia is a migration country. They want to attract skilled migration anyway. They can't stop that. So therefore, because annual migration targets was not met, this year is not unlikely to meet. And we already stopped the real skill migration, business migration, and it's not doing really well. You slow down a lot. So this year is not going to meet anyway, right? It's not going to meet. We will have a lot of allocation. This number will be changed, and it's already changed. Okay, so you never need to worry about that. You only need to worry about, can you match 100% into policy and law, right? Can you meet, and who make a policy department? And what we are doing here now, we are actually with the task, we work with together with the task force to draft the policy this time for a special visa. We have more allocations under the same program called Global Talent. Department hasn't drafted, and we are doing this now. So what it's meant by task force Global Talent business visa, it is actually inviting business to relocate or set up a head office or branch in Australia, and department is happy to give out a bunch of visas for yourself as a CEO, for your key members within your organization, to give you a lot of visas. Is if you wanting to do it as soon as possible. Of course, there will be some kind of monitoring and condition here, but yeah. So if you ask me about progression of the global talent, is the number being used as the news, noises about how I have to tell you, this program is so fantastic. Fantastic. When I see my client's profile, I'm just feeling this is great. We are doing great thing. We pick human being. We can use human intelligence to tell the department and to tell the society this candidate is awesome. We don't use point system. The point system, the majority of my clients could not meet 75 points. None of them could meet 75 points. Are they not skilled? Nonsense. They are extremely skilled. Not extremely skilled. So we please disregard this. This is indicative, right? Anything we consider here is the law and policy. And you want to follow, of course, not about how many numbers you are and stress out this. You really about how have we changed in policy. And I need to tell you, no. Yeah, we're going to have a new policy, but the existing policy has not changed. Now, it's nobody actually proposed any changing. Nobody provide a very powerful noise in the parliament to say this is not good program. How can you provide a opinion to the global talent visa after you only run for like 1 year, right? It's nearly 1 year. You need to allow this thing to run for 3 years, for full 3 years return, to able to fully assess, give a statistic, give a feedback after they all come to Australia, ask them, interview them, then tell us whether this GTI is not successful or not. Just because someone got permanent visa within, I've got someone, about 3 months to 6 months time, so you're jealous about that, and you say, this is crap. How on earth is that? Why you saying you're better than them? Oh, you can showcase you're better than them. Then therefore you'll be able to meet policy requirement. So I just feel the judgment in the market is so outrageous. Even all employer-sponsored visas, they take a very long time. Business visa it's not a good thing. And why we have new program, we are taking really short period of time without English requirement, it's not good. We are making progression, department is making progression. We should support this movement. We should say, hey, let's do this. Let's not change GTI, let's change other program as well. That's really hunt for people, for example, business visa, that's really hunt for people really successful. We not just want a 188 type of visa. It's not about they spending money to purchase house or whatever, but they really want to do business here. Why we are not doing this? The department is making great progression. I think I'm really supportive. I'm an early supporter for the global talent, very early. When I set out clients, sometimes I cried when someone told me, oh, I actually went to skill migration assessment, skill migration, I wait for 2 years, never been invited. And then when I check their profile, oh my God, you're like great man, you're doing great. Now our system, our point system undermine you, and I'm not happy with that. I'm happy for you to achieve that within very short period of time. For Hong Kong candidates, we can get permanent visa within 6 months. For people from China, for example, if you already got police checks, 3 months time, that's how short it is. So is that anything wrong with that? No. If you are a community working in this industry, working in Australia, you know that. We need really highly skilled people to help us to build the economy. It's really urgent. It's really urgent. We need to support this. We need to put everything effort. It's fine if the processing is just short period of time. This is supposed to be great. That should be too great. We have to support this movement, right? Of course, in the future, I will encourage department to change business migration. They wait too long and they just send to different processing center. I have no idea who's actually the processing officer. Which is really, we need to, and for me, a migration agent, I'm not just having result for clients. I actually want to help the department to make better decision, to really focus on one goal. Instead of getting everybody here, we want to build someone who's really great to our economy, right? Bring technological advancement, bring your asset, bring some kind of business model, bring your brain. Just want this. I want great, brightest brain here. And then we give permanent visa for them to really quickly start out their life here in Australia, settle here in Australia, because they are brightest person. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? I just don't understand, really, isn't it, right? So progression, to summary, do we have any progression 5,000? Is that going to use up? I believe that'll be a lot, but that is not a reliable source, and it's we provide. We'll do this under Freedom Information request in December, because we're able to do halfway to check what's going on with that. But please don't think about 5,000 stuff. You think about one thing. Oh, am I good enough to meet current policy? Am I good enough to make sure I meet the future policy? That's the only thing you need to think about and worry about, right? And how you can determine this? Very simple. Just send an email, pop in our Facebook Messenger, ask us questions. We're able to give, even I feel that I might be able to help you. If you schedule a call with me, I'll tell you how to improve your case, really. All right, thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, contact me directly. Thank you.